We back on the Elle Duncan show with Gary Streisky. Maybe it's because it's the summer and I've just been incredibly overwhelmed
Yeah.
this year, but I legitimately NBA free agency came at me out of nowhere. I was like, "Oh wait, it is?" I got an alert that's like, "Join Malika Andrews and company for a free agency special." I was like, "Oh." And normally I think it happens like during the week and so it's falls within my purview. It did not this year. But I think one of the best things about this particular NBA free agency, Gare Bear, is that it's a little bit like watching the Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah. Hell
You
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah.
Where seemingly this thing just sort of looks like junk, then you take it to this thing and they're like, "What? No, this thing is definitely worth $212 million.
For the
This is
vintage aspect of it.
for the vintage Paul George. You think
Correct.
it's only worth a bag of Funyuns. It's actually worth $212 million. And we're getting a little bit of that right now. Some of these numbers are eye popping for guys that, yeah, I mean, still are contributors, but ultimately
Like 50
contributing to
million a year.
what? I mean, sometimes it feels like we learn from past transgressions and like maybe people would have looked at what happened with the Clippers and Kawhi and Paul and everything that they gave up and all the money that they gave up to try and put this championship caliber team together that never really had an opportunity to get off the ground because
Mhm.
of injuries or because they choked. I mean, a bevy of reasons. But instead, Paul George, after discussing with the Clippers for a little bit about coming back, decides I'm going to bail. I'm going to go to the Sixers, another team that has done this often, overpaid people. They're going to give him $212 million for a 4-year deal for Paul George, who
Which
is
would have been
34 years
sick
old.
5 years ago. Which would have been
Right.
like an absolute steal 5 years ago. But
Yeah.
5 years after his Clippers tenure, he is now 34. And pretty much the only reason the Sixers got him, they had the money to get him. And as Woj explained when he was on SportsCenter with us yesterday, like he and the Clippers like sat and talked, and they offered him a healthy extension, but he wanted the fourth year. Like that was a requirement that he wanted and needed a fourth year. And I think that is telling as to what the franchise, at least out west, deemed him as like, dude, if you want 4 years, you're going to be 38 going on 39 in the
Oh,
last year of
yeah.
that deal. And the only person we've seen have those numbers at that age is LeBron freaking James, right?
Correct. Do
Which
we
is
think Paul George is
crazy.
going to be LeBron James at
Nah,
39? He's
hell
not
not.
LeBron James
Especially
at
in that
34.
Philadelphia ecosystem, which hasn't put anything together. And you got to think like Joel Embiid's not getting younger. He is still in his prime. And yes, they locked up Tyrese Maxey. So it is a very formidable big three, but 34 is not young. And you listen to these names that are now getting these deals. Chris Paul, 1 year deal, 11 million to be like a veteran point guard presence for Wemby down there in San Antonio, but he's 39. All right. James Harden, he is staying in LA to the tune of 2 years, 70 million, but he's 34. Like, this is crazy, L. Again, these names signing extensions or getting deals or getting money would have been insane. Like, these are like A-list names 5, 6 years ago, but these are the names now that are on the move. What about 34-year-old Klay Thompson, who is done in the Bay Area? Woj said he has played his last game as a Warrior. Look for him to either be signing with, what is it, the Magic, the Lakers, or the Mavericks. So it's crazy to see like the guys who dominated an entire decade from 2010 to 2020 being like additional pieces or getting the 1 or 2 year deals. Kind of wild.
I mean, I think that the person here who benefits the most, at least out of the 76ers deal, is Joel Embiid, because you think about the fact that he is a former MVP, a defensive player of the year. This dude signed a 4-year, $213 million deal with the Sixers like a year ago.
Uh-huh.
So you're talking about Paul George now making the same amount of money as the face of the franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Joel Embiid undoubtedly after this year, and I think this is sort of a Hail Mary last ditch effort to keep Joel in the building, because
Mm-hmm.
certainly if they keep having these same middling results that they've had for years now, then he's going to want to bail. And I think this is sort of their last ditch effort to say, we are serious about putting a real team around you. We've locked up Tyrese Maxey. He's a bona fide superstar. Now we've got Paul George, great two-way player. Like, we're going to make this and try and make this work. But if you're Joel Embiid, you're letting this year ride out and seeing what it looks like. And then you're absolutely going back to the table for more money, despite the fact that you've got an option in 2026, 27. So this is, I think, great for Joel Embiid, but it really does just talk about the fact that, like, the market just keeps resetting itself. And like, I'm
Correct.
not one of those people that likes to do this whole argument about like, is he worth the money? The market says he's worth the money. Go get your money, right? Like, it is what it is. It doesn't matter if we think Dak Prescott is worth $45 million a year. Like, that's what the market has set. They keep resetting the market. Like, go get your money, sir. But the idea that, again, a year ago, Joel Embiid was making this exact same money at age 29 that
Yeah.
they just gave Paul George at age 34. At some point, you're going to be talking about with frequency handing out 3, 4, $500 million contracts within just the next couple of years.
Oh, yeah.
At some point, there's got to be a top. I mean, like we when does it end? You
Sure.
know?
Yeah. And not anytime soon, because with the new TV rights deal, what was it? The boys on the Hoop Collective were saying that in the next decade, we're going to see our first $100 million player. It's obviously not going to be Paul George. He'll be done by then. It's not going to be Joel Embiid. They're talking to the likes of like Luka Doncic, his contracts are timed out to basically allow him to be like that first $100 million player. But Joel Embiid, making 50. So he's going to be like, yo, why are you paying Paul George the same amount as me? You
60.
better pay
Yeah.
me 60.
Right.
Where's my 60 M's, which is
Right.
crazy.
You think about the fact that Damian Lillard was making 45 million for many years. He was the highest paid player in any sport
In
because
the
he was
league.
making 45,
Yeah.
$47 million a year. I mean, there's just, and especially when you're talking about these players where we haven't exactly seen them result in championships. So we'll see. It's better for the East when teams like the Sixers are good. I mean, the Knicks are absolutely loaded. And I think some of this as well is a counter to Boston, who
Yes.
has already shown their dominance, and to be incredibly young still. And to have that core there, someone that looks like they could be dynastic, could be, let's win 2
Correct.
in a row
Well,
first, or at least
especially
2.
after who they just locked up. Luke Cornett's coming back. He signed that 1-year deal. So, hey, cue the duck boats, Elle. All I'm saying is keep the motors running because Luke Cornett's coming back. It's a bad day to be a team in the Eastern Conference outside of Boston.
It really is. I mean, the Eastern Conference for a long time, it was like 1 or 2 teams were okay, and it was always all the talk about out west, and it was sort of handicapped. Would it be any of the Eastern Conference teams even able to compete with the Western Conference? But the Eastern Conference is absolutely jacked. I mean, certainly you've got your Timberwolves and your OKCs of the world, and obviously the Mavericks. Nobody's sleeping on Denver. But I mean, when you talk about the juice and the momentum,
Mm-hmm.
sort of the arms race that we've seen over the last few years, a lot of that resides in the East. And in particular, I'm very excited for some future Knicks Celtics matchups,
Correct.
especially after the Knicks reloaded as well.
Jenkins, my pistol's out now. Make sure y'all go run that up. You heard it live from your boy Bobby Shmurda. Get out.
Chase gang.
This one for all my gangster niggas. This one right here is for all the people that really been through something in them streets.
Where would I be without my pistol? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my pistol? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas are spin through. Where would I be without my
Where would I be without my
pistol? Where would I be without my pistol? My pistol. Where would I be without my? Them niggas caught me lacking, had that thing right by my side. Already one in the head, nigga, this shit do or die. You fuck around and lose your life, you come and playin' with mine. I told them boys this shit get hot when you playin' with fire. Boy better not jump up on that block if he ain't ready to ride. Goofy musta thought it was cool, we just tryna survive. That musta went over his head, same way bullets gon' fly. You know that shit ain't got no name once they open they glide. Need to stop shooting from that corner, nigga, run down my side. Niggas saying they doing drills, taking innocent lives. Niggas shooting for clout, they never really hitting them guys. I keep it on me all the time, but would I be without my? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas that spin through. Where would I be without my pistol? You live by it, you die by it, that shit true. Lost a couple homies, some real shit I got hit too. Gotta watch your back, you get killed, niggas that spin through. Where would I be without my?
Where would I be without my pistol?
I leave, she coming right beside me. Like, was only one by my side. Not gon' play, nigga, you gon' die. The house broken, them niggas, they been fried. Like, free skim, he got locked for homicide. Like, so I'm trapping on my lonely, and I'm swerving in the foreign by my dolly. And these niggas outside not really my homies. Free gang, free broke, free the homies. Like, why they talking like they on that, but these niggas ain't on shit. All my niggas sliding and my niggas talking blicks. Betty on my side and she really with the shit. Talking real crazy, she gon' push a nigga away. So I'm trapping on my lonely.